IPFS, which stands for Interplanetary File System, is a protocol and a network designed to create peer-to-peer method for storing and sharing hypermedia in a distributed file system. IPFS is often described as a new way to build and access the web, as it has the potential to revolutionize the way data is distributed and retrieved over the network. Here we are locating data by their content and not by the address of the servers. So in this tutorial, we are going to learn about how we can host a static website into IPFS, that is Interplanetary File System. So without further ado, let's get started with it. So first of all, we would just open our VS Code from here by clicking on this button. I am opening VS Code because in the later part of our tutorial, we are going to need it, and it's better to start with it from first hand. So we're just waiting for the VS Code to open, and it's getting loaded till now. We'll also open the new terminal as well. So yeah, our VS Code is ready and our terminal is also ready. So IPFS is already installed for your easiness in this lab. So we'll just check the installation and confirm that with checking its version. And it is giving that IPFS version is 0.11.1. So that means IPFS is installed. And so now we will initialize the IPFS by running this command, and this will create a new IPFS repository in the home directory, and it will output our node's peer and its identity as well. So let's just hit this command. So as you can see, it is generating a key pair, which is done. After that, this is the identity of our node, and it is initialized at this particular location. So we have created our node, initialized the repository. So now we will start the IPFS daemon, and this will work in the background, and this will allow our node to connect to the actual IPFS network. So without any delay, let's run this command, and it is starting, and it is saying daemon is ready. Just in the new terminal and come back and see, yes, daemon is ready. And now we will check all the connected peers. So since it is a peer-to-peer network, we need to check the connection with the peers as well. And this will list all the peers. So these are all the peers that are there in the network. So as I've already mentioned, that IPFS stores content on the network, and it is located using the CID, which is content identifier. A CID can be compared with a URL, but it is different from URL, as URL gives you the address of the server where the data and the website is stored, whereas CID gives you the actual address of the content. So it's, in a way, it is encrypting the content and then giving you the address. Using that address, you can retrieve the content. So let's start off with it. So first of all, we will just create a dummy content, and we will store that in the, we will generate a CID for that. So we will copy this command and we will paste it here. So what it basically does is that it stores the, in CID, it stores the address for this content, IPFS test1. And this is the content, this is the command which adds the, which generates the CID and stores that in the CID variable. We hit enter, and it is generated. So now to check the CID value, we can run this echo command. So echo command will store the value, will print the value that is stored already in CID. So this is the particular address or this is the particular CID for the content that we have written, IPFS test1. So now let's just confirm that. So if we run this IPFS cat command, then we will get the value that is corresponding or the content that is corresponding to the CID. So if we hit enter, as you can see, IPFS test1 is coming. So this is how the basic IPFS system works. This is how the CID is generated and the content is stored. So now moving forward with it. So we will create a HTML page on IPFS, and then we will host it there. So let's just create a new file here, and we will name it as index.html. Okay. So this is our index.html file. As you can see, it's there. And we will paste this content to it. It's here. So this is the content. So it's basically a simple HTML page with a h1 tag which says my test web page. And now we will add this web page to IPFS. So to add this web page to IPFS, we will run this IPFS add command in index.html. If you remember in a few, here we have also used the IPFS add command where we have directly added the content to IPFS. Here we will add the index.html file to IPFS. And as soon as it is added, we have generated a CID here. This is the CID. And now we will add this CID to our CID variable or placeholder. So in our CID, we were just going to paste this obtained CID. So let's just do that. And here it is, and we will hit enter. So everything is all going well. So let's just check the CID is holding the correct address or not. And yes, it is holding the correct CID value. So now our next work is that to publish this CID in our IPFS network. So for that, we are using this IPFS name published CID. So this will publish this particular CID, and that means the index.html page in the IPFS network. So as soon as we hit enter, the work has started, and we will just wait for some time for this to finish. And this is published. So as you can see, it is published to a particular address that is given here, and it is named as IPFS/, and this is the particular CID of our web page. So we can test that out with this curl command. So curl command, basically what it does is that it fetches the content of the websites, of the web pages. And if we hit enter, as you can see, we got the content. So that means that it is already hosted on the IPFS network. So that's it for this tutorial, guys. We have created a web page, a demo, a sample web page, and we have hosted that using IPFS in IPFS network.